Jessica Mulroney, a longtime friend of Meghan Markle, has pulled no punches in her accusations against the Duchess, pointing to Meghan's role in destabilizing key relationships in Harry's life. It's a story of betrayal, where the person closest to Harry, the woman he married, allegedly contributed to severing his connections with people who once meant everything to him. As the drama unfolded, the fallout extended far beyond the public breakup.
If you love getting the real story behind the palace walls, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update.
It spread like wildfire through Harry's inner circle, taking with it a sense of community he once cherished. Harry now finds himself standing at the crossroads of his past and future, with the friendships he relied on slipping away into the distance. The accusations of betrayal from Jessica Mulroney, alongside the public rift at the Santa Barbara Polo Club, paint a painful picture of a man who has been cut off from the very ties that once defined him. With Meghan's influence playing a central role, Harry must now navigate a future that is increasingly defined by loss, loneliness, and the very personal cost of his choices. The fallout from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's relationship with their closest friends has become a deeply public spectacle. In a story of betrayal, manipulation, and social alienation, Meghan's conduct has allegedly played a significant role in Harry's increasing isolation.
If you love getting the real story behind the palace walls, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update.
Once surrounded by a close-knit circle of friends and respected figures, Harry now faces a breakdown of these relationships, many of which spanned years. A key figure in this unraveling is Jessica Mulroney, a close friend of Meghan's, who has come forward with allegations that Meghan's behavior directly contributed to the erosion of their friendship. Mulroney, who once stood by Meghan's side, has voiced her deep grievances over how Meghan allegedly manipulated social situations and undermined the trust of those around her. This is not just about personal conflict. It's about how Meghan's actions disrupted Harry's connections, leaving him distant from those he once called his closest allies. At the heart of these tensions lies a growing divide between Harry and some of his most trusted companions, including Ignacio Nacho Figueras, a well-known polo player and close friend. The consequences of Meghan's control over Harry have seeped into his social circle, resulting in expulsion from the Santa Barbara Polo Club, a community that once welcomed him with open arms. This wasn't just a social event. This was a significant rupture, marking the tangible fallout from Meghan's behavior. The Polo Club, a space that once served as an outlet for Harry's private life and leisure, became another casualty of the fracture in his personal life driven by Meghan's actions. The breakdown in Harry's friendships has left him with a palpable sense of alienation. People who once stood by his side, who were integral parts of his life, are now slowly fading from his circle. What began as a subtle shift has now become an open rift, visible to the public eye. The Polo Club expulsion was merely the culmination of months of growing tensions, a clear indication that Meghan's influence had altered the dynamic of his social life. Those close to Harry have noted that his isolation has only deepened since his marriage to Meghan, as she has been accused of controlling the narrative of his personal interactions. In public appearances and private exchanges, Meghan's demeanor has often been described as overbearing, particularly in her interactions with male acquaintances. This conduct has made people uncomfortable, leading to more people distancing themselves from the couple. What was once a friendship defined by mutual respect has now been replaced by an uncomfortable tension, one that grows with every new accusation and each moment of control that Meghan allegedly exerts. Harry's emotional state is hard to ignore in this unraveling. A person who once thrived in the social circles of the royal family and beyond now finds himself cut off from the connections he once valued. His relationships with figures like Nacho Figueras, who once shared a strong bond with him, have been torn apart, with rumors swirling about their growing estrangement. This isn't just about lost friendships, it's about Harry's very identity. For years, he was able to rely on these people, and now, the trust and loyalty that once defined his existence are slipping away. And while the public may not fully understand the details, the signs of strain are visible. The prince's life, both privately and professionally, seems to be on a steep decline, largely attributed to Meghan's actions and control she's asserted over their shared world. The rupture in Harry's personal life is not an isolated incident. It has had a ripple effect throughout his broader circle, including interactions with members of the royal family. Meghan Markle's behavior, as described by various sources, has been marked by a level of possessiveness and interference that has raised eyebrows. Her tendency to impose herself in spaces where she may not have been welcome has made others uneasy, including Harry's own family. Prince Andrew, for example, is one individual whose relationship with Harry seems to have soured amid these tensions. In what can only be described as a further layer of complexity to Harry's social isolation, Meghan's influence appears to have pushed even family members to reconsider their standing with him. Prince Andrew and Harry, both members of the royal family, had once shared a sense of camaraderie, but now, with Meghan's behavior being a consistent point of contention, their bond seems to be weakening. The royal family, known for its tight-knit structure, has had its own struggles with public perception. But the way Meghan has handled these personal relationships, particularly her control over Harry, has become a point of significant discussion within their circles. Meghan's presence at royal events, her constant assertion over how things should unfold, and her treatment of those around her has caused significant discomfort, not just with friends, but with family as well. As the tensions have mounted, Harry's position in this family dynamic has become more fragile, with every public outburst of private concern further alienating him from the very people he used to rely on. Prince Andrew's relationship with Harry is a prime example of the changing nature of Harry's social connections. While the two once appeared to have a cordial relationship, it's clear that Meghan's actions have altered that bond. Publicly, there have been few indications of any major fallout, but insiders have suggested that Andrew, like others in the royal family, has grown increasingly wary of Meghan's influence over Harry. The way Meghan has allegedly controlled Harry's actions and decisions has left many questioning whether his actions are truly his own or are influenced by his wife. The sense of autonomy that once defined Harry's relationships is now in question, as Meghan's role in his life continues to be a source of friction. This has likely played a part in Harry's withdrawal from not just friends but family as well, a reality that has become harder to ignore. For Harry, this moment marks a profound loss, not just in terms of friendships, but in his role within the royal family. Once seen as a fun-loving, carefree royal with a strong sense of loyalty to his family and friends, Harry now seems like a shadow of that person. Whether this transformation is a result of his marriage to Meghan or the culmination of various factors remains unclear. But what is evident is that the prince is no longer the man he once was, and the rift with his family continues to grow. The isolation Harry faces now is not just from his extended family, but also from his once loyal friends. This isolation has been particularly painful for Harry, who has seen the people he trusted the most turn their backs on him. As his circle shrinks, the public scrutiny of Harry and Meghan's relationship has only intensified. The media, eager for a glimpse into the couple's private lives, continues to highlight the fractures within their social circle. As the couple faces mounting criticism, it's evident that their relationship with the world and with each other is increasingly defined by division and distrust. Meghan's alleged actions, including her overbearing influence on Harry, have made it difficult for the couple to maintain any semblance of normalcy. The notion of a supportive, united front between Harry and Meghan is now a far cry from reality. For Harry, the fallout has been devastating. The cost of Meghan's influence has been steep, and it's not just his friendships that have been damaged, it's his reputation, too. As Harry distances himself from those who once supported him, the question remains, how much of this isolation is truly his choice, and how much is influenced by the decisions and actions of his wife? The tension between Harry, Meghan, and their social circles is best illustrated through Jessica Mulrooney's accusations. Once a close confidant of Meghan, Mulrooney's public break with the couple revealed the deep rifts that had formed within their circle. The allegations leveled by Mulrooney speak to a larger issue. Meghan's behavior and control were the key factors behind the unraveling of Harry's friendships. For Mulrooney, the final straw came when she felt manipulated by Meghan's actions, which ultimately led to her distancing herself from the couple. The damage caused by Meghan's influence on Harry's social network cannot be overstated. For Mulrooney, the sense of betrayal was undeniable, and her decision to speak out reflects the broader sense of disillusionment that has taken hold of those close to Harry. Jessica Mulrooney's departure from Harry and Meghan's inner circle is a clear indication that Meghan's actions have caused irreparable harm. Her once close relationships have been fractured, and Harry's position in this drama is increasingly one of isolation and loss. This breakdown of trust serves as a microcosm of the larger story unfolding in Harry's life, a story marked by control, betrayal, and social alienation. As the influence of Meghan continues to weigh heavily on Harry's life, the friendship with Nacho Figueras serves as one of the most poignant examples of how far things have deteriorated. Once close friends who shared a love for polo and social events, Figueras and Harry's relationship now seems irreparably damaged. Figueras, a celebrated polo player and former close confidant of Harry's, has been increasingly distanced from the couple. The reasons behind this growing separation are varied, but the primary factor appears to be Meghan's actions and the strain she placed on Harry's relationships. The Polo Club incident, where Harry was reportedly expelled, is just the tip of the iceberg in a series of social and personal fractures that have become evident in the couple's public and private lives. The estrangement of Harry and Nacho Figueras serves as a powerful metaphor for the way Meghan's influence has impacted Harry's ability to maintain meaningful, independent relationships. For Harry, the loss of Figueras' friendship is just another blow in a series of personal tragedies that have unfolded since his marriage. The couple's once promising future now seems clouded by a lack of trust and a growing sense of loneliness, as Harry faces a fallout of choices he may now regret. The Oprah interview in 2021 was a pivotal moment in the lives of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. What was meant to be a cathartic conversation turned into a spectacle that revealed the depths of their personal struggles and the breakdown of their relationships with the royal family. It was during this interview that the couple highlighted their struggles with the pressures of royal life and the constant media scrutiny. However, it also revealed the growing rift between Harry and those closest to him. The fallout from that interview continues to affect Harry's relationships, with many of his closest friends and family members now distanced from him. The interview exposed cracks in Harry's social fabric, and those cracks have only deepened in the years since. The tensions revealed in that interview are now playing out in real time, with Harry facing the consequences of his decisions and the impact Meghan's behavior has had on his life. Whether or not Harry can repair these fractures remains uncertain, but the damage done by Meghan's actions is undeniable. Even within the royal family, Harry's relationships have been significantly affected. While Queen Elizabeth II, as the matriarch of the royal family, has long been a symbol of stability and strength, her relationship with Harry appears to be strained. While public appearances have been kept cordial, there is little doubt that the tensions surrounding Harry's marriage to Meghan have taken a toll on his standing within the family. The Queen, like many others, has witnessed the changes in Harry and the growing distance between him and his past life. Whether or not Harry can mend his relationships within the royal fold remains an open question, but it's clear that the actions of Meghan have played a pivotal role in reshaping his future. Harry's position within the UK royal family has never been more tenuous. Once a beloved figure with a reputation for charity work and public service, Harry now finds himself isolated from the very institution that shaped his identity. His relationships with other members of the royal family, including his brother Prince William, are now strained, and the impact of Meghan's behavior cannot be overstated. As Harry's ties to the royal family fray, it is clear that the consequences of his personal choices have left him standing at a crossroads. The future of his relationship with the royal family, and indeed with the public, remains uncertain as the isolation he has experienced continues to deepen. The damage caused by Meghan Markle's influence continues to reverberate in Harry's life. From his strained family relationships to the unraveling of once solid friendships, Meghan's presence seems to have profound and isolating effect on him. The narrative that has emerged from those closest to the couple paints a picture of a man slowly losing the life he once knew, the world he was once part of, and the people he held dear. Meghan's perceived control over Harry has been an open secret, with many of his past friends feeling increasingly uncomfortable with her possessiveness and demands. Figures who once played pivotal roles in his life, people who had known him for years, now find themselves pushed away not just by Harry, but by Meghan's behavior. She has been described as attempting to manipulate situations to her advantage, leaving those around her feeling sidelined, alienated, and, ultimately, abandoned. The Polo Club incident, which served as a significant moment in the deterioration of Harry's personal life, was not an isolated event. It was merely the visible fallout from years of growing tension within Harry's inner circle. Friends who had once been by his side were now distancing themselves, a trend that was becoming all too familiar. As the fallout continued, it became increasingly clear that Meghan's actions were at the core of the destruction. The way she exerted control, particularly over Harry's relationships with men like Nacho Figueras, alienated him further from his world. His life, once full of social engagements, polo matches, and gatherings with friends, now seemed to have dwindled to an isolated existence in the shadow of his wife's influence. As Harry faced the breakdown of his friendships and the isolation that followed, his emotional toll became evident. His public appearances began to reflect a man who had been worn down by the constant weight of personal conflict. Those who had known him as a charismatic, adventurous figure saw a stark transformation. What had once been a man who exuded warmth and loyalty was now someone disconnected, trapped in a situation where his choices were increasingly dictated by someone else. Meghan's role in this transformation could not be more evident. Her behavior, particularly when it came to controlling the narrative surrounding their lives, has left Harry in a vulnerable position. While it's clear that Harry still loves his wife, the consequences of his decision to marry Meghan are becoming undeniable. The distance he has created from his old friends, the social circles he once thrived in, and the estrangement from family members have left him alone in a world that no longer feels familiar. The psychological strain of this isolation has been marked. Harry's once outgoing personality, which had made him a beloved figure within the royal family and beyond, now seems hidden behind the walls of his own decisions. His retreat from social engagements, his withdrawal from his past life, and his inability to reconnect with those he had once called family and friends highlight the deep internal conflict he now faces. As the fallout from his marriage continues, the impact on Harry's mental well-being cannot be overstated. His growing alienation is a sign that something much deeper is at play, something that, despite his public appearance of calm, seems to be breaking him down piece by piece. The tensions between Harry and his family members, especially Prince Andrew, illustrate just how deeply Meghan's presence has disrupted Harry's sense of belonging. Prince Andrew's relationship with Harry, once built on shared family bonds, now feels strained and distant. Once, Andrew was someone Harry could turn to for advice and camaraderie, but those days appear to be behind them. Meghan's influence has played a central role in this shift. Her behavior, which some have described as overly controlling and sometimes even manipulative, has created an environment where Harry's connections with his family have been compromised. The very family that had once given Harry strength and purpose now seems like a distant memory, as Meghan's power over his life grows stronger. Andrew, like many others, has reportedly become increasingly frustrated with the way Meghan has handled her relationship with Harry. Her demands and her attempt to control the narrative of their lives have led many to question whether Harry's actions are truly his own. This lack of autonomy has become one of the key points of contention in his relationship with Andrew and others within the royal fold. Meghan's role in this transformation cannot be ignored. Her presence in Harry's life has made it increasingly difficult for him to maintain meaningful relationships with his family, further isolating him in a world that was once full of love, loyalty, and the alienation that Harry now faces from his royal family, particularly from figures like Prince Andrew, is a direct result of the decisions he has made in his personal life. While public appearances between them have remained cordial, the growing distance between Harry and Andrew is apparent to those within the royal circle. The bond they once shared, a connection built on shared history and experiences, seems to have eroded over time, primarily due to the influence of Meghan. Andrew's relationship with Harry, once defined by mutual respect and understanding, now seems to be a casualty of Meghan's increasing control. Her actions, particularly her involvement in shaping Harry's interactions with the royal family, have resulted in a weakening of the familial bonds that once defined him. This shift in Harry's relationship with Andrew has not gone unnoticed. The royal family, while publicly maintaining appearances, is reportedly concerned about the growing divide. Many insiders have noted that Andrew's own frustration with Meghan's influence has become an obstacle in their relationship. As tensions continue to mount, it's unclear how Harry and Andrew will navigate this growing rift. But what is clear is that Meghan's influence has been a significant factor in driving the wedge between them. Harry's personal choices, influenced by his marriage, have led him to a place where his connections with his family are now fragile, and the loyalty that once existed between him and his relatives seems to be fading fast. Despite the ongoing tensions in Harry's personal life, Meghan's role in his transformation cannot be overstated. The couple, once celebrated for their love story and their desire to change the world, now finds themselves in the midst of a crisis that has left Harry feeling more isolated than ever before. The story of their marriage has been marked by growing conflicts and unresolved issues. Meghan's behavior, particularly her control over Harry's social interactions and her insistence on dictating their narrative, has alienated not just his family but also his closest friends. The loss of these relationships, the erosion of trust, and the social isolation that Harry now faces are all the result of Meghan's actions. While Harry has remained publicly supportive of Meghan, it is increasingly clear that the toll this marriage is taking on him is far greater than he may be willing to admit. The rift with his family, the breakdown of long-term friendships, and the loss of the social world he once knew have all combined to leave him in a state of emotional turmoil. His desire to protect his wife and shield her from criticism has only made his own isolation worse. As Harry's world continues to crumble around him, it remains to be seen whether he will find a way to reconcile with his past or continue down the path of separation from the people who once meant the most to him. Jessica Mulroney's departure from Harry and Meghan's inner circle serves as one of the most poignant moments in the unfolding drama of their lives. Once a trusted confidant and close friend of Meghan's, Mulroney has publicly aired her grievances, making it clear that the influence Meghan had over her relationships was a key factor in the dissolution of their friendship. Mulroney's accusations of betrayal paint a clear picture of a woman who felt manipulated and controlled by Meghan, a feeling that has also been expressed by others who once stood by the couple. The fallout between Mulroney and the Sussexes is emblematic of the broader social consequences of Meghan's behavior. As Mulroney's public break from the couple became more apparent, it became clear that Meghan's actions were not just hurting Harry's relationships, but were also casting a shadow over the couple's public image. Mulroney's decision to speak out highlighted the deep fractures that were growing within Harry and Meghan's personal circle, fractures that, once created, were impossible to mend. The sense of betrayal felt by Mulroney is just one example of how Meghan's influence has eroded the trust and loyalty that Harry once held dear. The impact of this breakdown extends far beyond their immediate circle, affecting how others view the couple and their place within the larger royal and social framework. The rift between Harry and his friend Nacho Figueras is another striking example of how Meghan's influence has torn apart the friendships Harry once cherished. Figueras, who was once one of Harry's closest companions, has now distanced himself from the couple, reportedly as a result of Meghan's behavior. The Polo Club incident, which saw Harry being expelled, was a visible marker of the growing tensions between the two men, and it highlighted how Meghan's actions had disrupted not just Harry's relationships but his entire social environment. The Polo Club was a place where Harry once found solace and camaraderie, but it quickly became a symbol of his growing estrangement from the world he once knew. Nacho Figueras, who had always been a trusted friend, was another casualty of Meghan's increasingly dominant presence in Harry's life. As the couple faced growing criticism and scrutiny, Figueras found himself caught in the middle of a situation that he no longer wished to be part of. His decision to distance himself from Harry is a clear indication that the influence of Meghan on Harry's life has gone too far, and the friendships that once defined him are now slipping away. The Oprah interview, which aired in 2021, remains one of the most significant moments in Harry and Meghan's journey. What was intended to be a cathartic release for the couple ended up becoming a public spectacle, one that has continued to shape their lives in the years since. During the interview, the couple revealed the immense pressure they face as part of the royal family, but it also highlighted the deep cracks within their personal relationships. The fallout from that interview has been profound, particularly as it relates to Harry's relationships with those he once trusted. His estrangement from family and friends has only deepened since the interview, and the public airing of their grievances has had a lasting impact on the couple's image. The Oprah interview didn't just expose the royal family's dysfunction, it also opened a window into the internal struggles that Harry and Meghan were facing. Their personal battles have since played out in the media, with each new revelation adding to the growing tension surrounding them. As the couple continues to navigate these challenges, it remains to be seen how they will repair the damage done by the public airing of their grievances. As the head of the royal family, Queen Elizabeth II has witnessed the unfolding saga of Harry and Meghan from the sidelines, offering public support while privately grappling with the fallout. The Queen, who has long been a symbol of stability and unity within the royal family, now finds herself in a position where Harry's choices are straining the very fabric of the family. While the Queen has publicly expressed a desire to support Harry, it is clear that the dynamics between him and the royal family have changed irrevocably. Meghan's influence, which has played a significant role in Harry's separation from the family, continues to cast a shadow over their relationship. The Queen's role in this complex narrative has been one of quiet support, but whether Harry and Meghan will ever fully reconcile with the royal family remains to be seen. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might be interested in the latest updates about Harry and Meghan's tumultuous journey. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So drop a comment below and let us know what you think about the impact of Meghan's influence on Harry's life. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more in-depth content like this. Thanks for watching.